Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 6 of the Boba Boys podcast. I'm your extremely handsome host, Tony Ty, and this is my other extremely handsome host.
Nick Waddups.
Let's go. And we've got a lot to talk about today. So, the one that I'm most excited to talk about is Solo Leveling, and I've been thinking about this anime for a super long time, and the episode 1 just came out recently on Crunchyroll, and it crashed the whole site, but I just want to talk about it a little bit. So, you watched the first episode. What'd you think about it?
Yeah, so I watched episodes 1 and 2, and I like it. I'm gonna be honest though, I think they should have premiered both 1 and 2 at the same time because 1 ends on such an abrupt moment.
It's a very big cliffhanger.
Yeah. So I would have liked reading or watching 1 and 2. And I did read a little bit. I probably read like the first 20 chapters of the webtoon, right? This is a webtoon. So I read a bit of that just to kind of see where it goes after episode 1, but so far it's been a very faithful adaptation from what I can tell. I'm excited to see where it goes, but yeah, that's my only kind of complaint. I feel like those first 2 episodes should have been released together.
Or like even in one episode, like a 40-minute episode or something.
Yeah,
like
something like that. Just because I was expecting him to kind of get his power up after episode 1, so like we could, but no, that hasn't quite happened yet. So that's just
Is
my
the
take.
animation good?
Yeah, I like him. I think it's pretty good.
I was really convinced that they would never do an anime about it. And I think I told you about this because in the webtoon and in the original version, literally all of Japan gets destroyed and like almost all the villains are Japanese.
Really?
So, yes.
I did not know about that.
Yeah. So I didn't think that they would ever like have an anime studio from Japan make it because I feel like all Japanese people just sort of like refuse to make it because it's just so anti like Japanese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the original is Korean actually,
Right.
and they have a pretty big rivalry. There's a lot of not so friendly. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. But it is Japanese voice actors and a studio.
Yeah.
Who produces it? Is it like A1 or?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. A1's pretty
That
good,
seems
so.
right. Yeah.
Did you watch it? What are your thoughts?
I haven't, but I'm pretty big into the web novel and webtoon scenes, so I've read all of it. Yeah.
Okay, and it is finished.
It's finished. Yeah. hmm
Okay.
Yeah. But I do like the web novel system that they have in Korea where anybody can write novels. You just have to publish them online. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
But
that's how lots of people just do like short stories or like full blown novels. So yeah, I've been watching Sweet Home on Netflix recently. I know that was a webtoon first as well, and I like the Netflix adaptation. So I hope it's faithful to the webtoon, but it's pretty good.
And you're starting to see like a lot more Korean media get into like Netflix and like popular media nowadays. Like, I mean, there was Squid Game, obviously.
Yes.
But there was also like Sweet Home. I think there was God of High School, was it? And just a couple, and Solo Leveling, obviously. But there's starting to be like a lot of media that's really popular in Korea, starting to transition into regular media. K-pop too. K-pop also counts pretty hard.
Yeah, K-pop is definitely the new wave with Twice, BTS.
New Jeans.
New Jeans,
New
yeah,
Jeans was
50,
like one of the biggest bands or groups this year. So
yeah.
So
New
I'm
wave.
excited.
Yeah.
Like Koreans make some really good media. Like they write really good books. They make really good stories, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like they probably
Yeah, Sweet Home, it gets crazy. Season 2, it gets crazy. So if you ever check it out, let me know what you think. But I've enjoyed Sweet Home, both season 1 and season 2. I have 2 more episodes left in season 2, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay.
But yeah, do you find it's harder to watch shows because a lot of them are multiple seasons, and you have an hour per episode, like average. So you have to watch about 8 to 10 hours per show, per season. So if something like Game of Thrones would have 100 hours just to finish all 10 seasons.
Yeah, I think you gotta be like really. For me personally, I'm pretty selective about what I start because I know that if I start it, I gotta finish it. So like I finished the One Piece live action in like 2 days, I want to say, because it was just so good. But the thing was like, if it had been a lot longer, I would have been afraid to start it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I generally wait until the season is completely out, and if a lot of people say that the season is really good, then I'll watch it. But
okay, yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm pretty selective with what's available, but sometimes it does. Like sometimes I tune out after like 2 episodes in a row or something, 3 episodes, So got to take those breaks, But yeah, I'm more a movie person, but each their own.
True. Yeah. Okay. Did you have any topics that you wanted to bring up today?
I had a few written down. The first I've kind of just been thinking about lately is with multiplayer games and regarding how they're marketed now, if that makes sense. I feel like almost every big multiplayer game you nowadays you hear about from streamers or YouTube or something like that.
Hmm.
And it kind of changes how the game is played in a sense because you kind of want to play it like how you see it, right?
Hmm.
Online. And so
Yeah.
you have like a level of expectation going into these games. And I
Right.
just kind of wonder what your thoughts were on how streaming and other gaming groups have affected multiplayer gaming.
You want maybe give another example, just in case, or like what are your thoughts on it first?
I I well, I don't know because about a week ago I
Hmm.
asked you and a few of our friends if you guys have heard of Castle Crashers, which was a pretty popular game I want to say back in 2011. But I asked you guys and nobody knew what it was. And I played
Yeah.
on Xbox with my cousins, and then eventually I got it on Steam and I played online with a few friends like a year or two later. But nobody's heard of that, and I just wonder if kind of these old school games are being left behind in the wave of more uh more
Marketable games, right?
more marketable, but also it's more of like with Castle Crashers it's like a story, right? You have like X amount of levels, but I
Hmm.
feel like I'll say Among Us for example, you can just get
Yeah.
into games like and then like 10 minutes later you're in a new game and then so on and so forth. So I just wonder
So,
if that if you have any thoughts on that.
mm, did you have anything to add to it?
No.
No. Okay. Let me think. I gotta sound educated. I can't just be yapping my mouth at every opportunity that I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I think it's just sort of like, the because the thing is like you said Among Us, right? Or like Lethal Company, for example, right?
Yeah.
You hop into a game, you can do whatever you want with your buddies for a couple of minutes, and then like you hop into a new game, right? But with Castle Crashers, which is like a story-based game, you can't just pick up like where your buddy left off. Like you all gotta play together
Hmm.
as a team, right? So if somebody's not there one day, then you probably have to wait for them because it's a story, or otherwise you'd have to fill them in, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why it's not quite as popular anymore, is because just games where anyone can get in are a little bit more popular, because otherwise if you're always waiting for all of your squad to get on, then it's a little more difficult. Like if
Yeah,
there's
that's
like a
true.
campaign mode for like Among Us, for example, or Lethal Company,
Yeah.
yeah, or like Phasmophobia, I think that would be difficult because you want to play with the same squad. But since there's not, and since it's meant to be still multiplayer, you can hop on with one squad one night, and then this next night you can hop on with the second squad,
Right.
which, yeah, makes it easier for streamers. And I don't know, I agree. I think it's sort of a weird direction, but at the end of the day, I think it's more natural. I think it just makes more sense for game companies to do such a thing, you know?
Yeah. I definitely understand why they want to move that way because obviously if you have streamers like say a group of 4 to 6 streamers playing your game and then they're having fun, having a good time,
Yeah.
then that will drive their audience to want to check that game out. And I feel like that's what happened with Lethal Company where it started out with maybe 20 different streamers all playing together or, and then it kind of just blew up from there.
Well, not even like multiplayer games, for example. I feel like just most story games are just not as easy to market nowadays to streamers, because the thing is like even on your streams, right? You'll be playing like Lies of P or whatever. And
Right.
the thing is, if I miss one day of you streaming, then it's like every single day afterwards is I'm sort of just like trying to fill in the blanks of what happened. So I think story games are kind of difficult, and like streamers try and avoid like story games because it's like if my viewer misses one day, then they're kind of just filling in the blanks for every other stream that comes afterwards. But
Yeah.
if I play like Among Us all day, every day, right?
Yes.
Like my
And
streamer can
for
join late, or yeah, my viewer can join late that day, and he'll still get what's happening.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, same with like Fortnite or
Yeah,
even Minecraft. I feel like you can piece together what's happened
exactly.
in between streams. So
Hmm.
yeah, I definitely think if
And
you do story based games, you need to do more YouTube.
yeah,
And I think I regret not doing YouTube with like
uh,
Spider-Man 2 because I think it would have been easier just to kind of see how like I went from step by step through the story or something like that, you know?
and that's the other thing. I was going to bring up Spider-Man 2, for example, because it was like, what if I, the viewer, want to play Spider-Man 2, but I don't want to spoil myself, right? So does that mean that I just don't watch the viewer? And it's like, if I want to play the game, I probably don't watch my favorite streamer if he's playing Spider-Man, because I want to play it for myself.
Yeah.
So I
And
do think that story games are kind of getting phased out just a little bit. Like they'll still be popular, but yeah.
just yeah, definitely in the streamer um, media,
Hmm.
it's definitely like become phased out. I feel like everyone nowadays is playing Fortnite or Rainbow Six Siege, even Sea of Thieves. I feel like because you don't have a linear story you need to follow, you can just mess around with your
Hmm.
friends. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
And,
just
And there's like more spontaneous stuff happening, like when you're always with like multiplayer people, so that way you can be like, oh yeah, I was here for this moment, when
Mhm.
like PewDiePie gets killed 13 times in a row by Amogus corpse husband or whatever, and you can be like,
Yeah.
yeah, haha, I was there. But you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I do think streamers are playing a really, really big role in the way that games are marketed, which actually brings me to my next point about streamers as a whole is did you hear that Twitch is like no longer profitable, or they have not been profitable for a really long time, according to like their current CEO,
Yeah, they're
Dan Clancy,
yeah,
recently? Yeah,
I did read that, and I was actually going to bring that up too. But
yeah.
what were you thinking? Since you introduced the topic, what did you want to say?
I think it makes sense that they have not been profitable for a while because the thing is like nobody really wants to buy subs because it's just like you know, like okay, half the money already goes to Twitch and Amazon already. So it's like, why would I really want to buy $5 for my streamer when I know that at least $2.50 of it is just going to go into Amazon and less than half of it is going to go to my streamer? I'd just much
Yeah,
rather personally like PayPal it, which I think is one of the reasons why Twitch is not profitable. Is because why would I spend money on a sub when I can just like Venmo or not Venmo, but like PayPal them,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
There's donations, right,
Hmm.
that go directly to the streamer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
there's also bits too, but bits Twitch does take a cut. So it's
right.
just
I
like
know.
why
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely. I think Twitch has kind of run itself into the ground with this problem
Mhm.
because they're willing to let all these big streamers go to either YouTube or Kick.
Exactly.
Is Facebook Gaming still an option?
Facebook gaming is an option actually, because a lot of people say that they get a ton of viewers on Facebook gaming. Probably most of those views are bots, but it doesn't stop people from going to Facebook gaming. At the
Okay.
very least, Facebook gaming is probably better for a small streamer than Twitch is. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, let's look at Ludwig for example. He was
Yeah.
the biggest subscribed Twitch streamer after his subathon, and then
Mhm.
I want to say 3 months later he decides to leave to YouTube. Right? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of the right timeline.
Hmm.
And Twitch just lets him go. They don't
Yeah.
offer any incentive for him to stay. So I think they've kind of run themselves into this problem where they say, "Oh, we don't need these streamers. We'll be just fine without you." But evidently not, according to their own CEO.
Yeah.
And
And
it's not
I don't know
just
if you've
yeah, it's not
yeah.
just Ludwig, but there's a few other streamers that I can't name
Yeah.
off the top of my head, but he's probably the biggest example because he was their most
Yeah.
subscribed.
And there's so many different reasons that you might leave Twitch, but like another one, for example, is XQC and Kick, because
Yes.
Kick paid him an insane amount of money, like 100 million for what 2 years, which is more than 99.99% of pro athletes get paid.
Yeah.
And XQC, you know what I mean? And so it's just like if you're XQC, are you taking that deal? Of course, because if Kick falls, then you just get $100 million.
Yeah.
And they offered him such good terms. He can still stream on Twitch, but it's just that he has to do more than 50% of his time on Kick.
Yeah.
And I don't see Twitch being able to offer any such good deals to any streamers. Like you said with Ludwig, like he literally made them so much money during that subathon. Like at least 50% of that went directly to Twitch, right?
Yeah.
And so you'd think that they'd fight a little bit harder for him to stay, or they might offer him special contracts or be like, "We need you, Ludwig," because they really did need him. He was the face of Twitch for just a little bit, and they let him go with
Hmm.
nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't think Twitch is profitable because I don't think anybody really is attached to Twitch. Like people are attached to the streamer, but once that streamer disappears, Twitch, like they're not staying on Twitch because it's Twitch.
I was just about to say I feel like
Yeah.
most streamers that do somehow, because it's pretty hard to grow on Twitch, like I'll acknowledge that. But if the streamer does make it big on Twitch, I feel like they're almost using that as a stepping stone to go
Yeah.
to YouTube or Kick or
Exactly.
whatever they want to go to. And I think Twitch has been scrambling the last 3 months with
Yeah.
like all these policy changes, and then they say something, but then they back out on it, or even double.
Mhm.
So like for example, like the multicasting thing, they said like they weren't going to allow multicasting, but then everyone's like, why would you not do this? It's dumb. Every other site allows multicasting, so eventually they cave in, and now you can multicast to YouTube or whatever other platforms you want. And I just think that they're not very consistent with
Mm.
what they say. And I get they're
They
trying to please their audience, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
And once upon a time, when Ninja left for Mixer,
Right.
what I said earlier about people would not be willing to leave Twitch, like that, yeah, that was true. Like people were not going to go to Mixer, you know what I mean, because they were attached to Twitch. That is no longer the case anymore because YouTube stream is like a good thing. You know what I mean? It's like almost the same. Like, and there's so many more people on YouTube, and it's just
Right.
like once YouTube entered the streaming game, Twitch had to play their cards so carefully, but they fumbled every single one of them. Like, I literally cannot think of another way that Twitch could have played their hand worse than they already have. Like they are so bad. They have pushed so much of their community away. They have made so many bad choices. And what their CEO Emmett Shear for a long time, nobody knew who he was. He had zero accountability for anything. and then that's why he stepped down. You
Yeah.
know, I like I said, like they keep digging themselves into a hole, and it's I think if I had to make a soul read, I think Twitch is going to slowly die. It's going to slowly perish and run itself into the dirt. It's too
Yeah.
late for them.
I don't see Amazon holding on to them for
Yeah,
like 5 years from now, maybe, unless they make some drastic changes. But it looks like they're not willing to take that risk
yeah,
and do the things that they need to make it a quote unquote profitable site. I mean, how are you not a profitable site after 15 years, right?
right.
Like, I need to remember. Did he say they were never profitable, or they're just no longer profitable?
I can't remember, but the thing was like they were the number one streaming platform,
Yeah,
like anywhere. It was not even close. Like
yeah,
Mixer couldn't even challenge them, and Mixer had Microsoft backing them. But
and
then, like I said, they kept digging a hole for themselves. And how do you fumble a lead that bad? Is why I want to ask. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think they just got complacent with
Yeah,
what they have, and they weren't willing to adjust to the times. Because I know with Kick, for example, like whatever your thoughts on that are,
yeah,
they do offer 95% profit to you or whatever it
yeah.
is instead of 50-50, which is incentivizing a lot of people to switch from Twitch to Kick, right?
Mhm.
And
And yeah,
even though this has come out, hasn't even budged on their current
yeah,
market plan. It's not 60-40 or 70-30. It's still just 50-50. And I know you can negotiate once you reach partner status,
hmm
but even then, I don't know what they'll
right,
raise your percentage to. I
yeah.
doubt they would go 90-10 or something like that for partners. It's probably like 75 or something.
Because yeah, I think what Twitch needs the most, more than anything right now, is for a bunch of people on their platform to suddenly like grow and then draw in a ton of viewerships. That way, people like go back onto Twitch, like a new Ludwig, for example. And
Yeah.
so they need more stars, right? But the thing is that there's no room on Twitch to actually grow, right? If you're a new streamer and you're starting out, I mean, what is it's such a no-brainer, right? You would obviously go to Kick for the 95% split compared to like what was it on Twitch, 50-50,
50-50.
40-60. You know what I
50-50, yeah.
mean? It's such a no-brainer. And so the thing is, people on Twitch are never going to stay there, or like they're not going to have very many stars growing up on Twitch, basically.
Yeah. Everyone who is big on Twitch started somewhere else.
Exactly.
They either got big from YouTube and then link their Twitch in their description, or
Yeah.
through TikTok now. They're posting
Yeah.
30-second clips from their Twitch streams and drawing more people in that way. But if you have like an average of 5 viewers or less, you're going to be at like the bottom of the search bar or whatever like category you're
Exactly.
streaming to. So you need to grow ways outside of Twitch, which I also think is affecting their profitability and marketability, because no one, I don't know, no one wants to grow on. If you want to grow on Twitch, it's just like you can't.
Well, you can't. You
Yeah,
literally
yeah, you
can't.
can't.
Yeah.
So that's why people probably tend to switch to YouTube or something, just
Yeah.
because it's easier to grow, at least
Mhm.
with their algorithm and stuff like that.
And admittedly, Kick is losing money out of the wazoo, right? Like, no way did they have $100 million just sitting there to recruit XQC, right?
Crypto
But they
money
have
or
an
whatever it
advantage.
was.
Yeah, but they have an advantage because they're a new company. So
Yeah,
their investors are like, yeah, there's a growing company. So we can afford to see them lose money a little bit. In fact, we can see them lose a ton of money and make sense because they're trying to become a titan in the
yeah.
industry. You don't get that with Twitch because Twitch is too afraid to lose a ton of money to make a ton of money, right? They're
Hmm.
too afraid to make the big money moves, to take the gamble. And it's just like,
Yeah,
and it's like you said, they're so stuck on their current market plan. You know what I mean? I think if Twitch literally just made a tweet tomorrow and they're like, you know what, we messed up big time. Like, we are so sorry that we did this, and we want to see our streamers grow. Like, we want to pay more attention to our streamers, and we're going to start doing this. It'll take a long time, but we want you to know that this is what we're going to do. If they
hmm,
did something like that, maybe there's a chance. But when are they ever going to do that? When they're already bankrupt and it's too
yeah.
late for them, and then every other streaming platform has taken over. Twitch is dead. I mean, it's slowly dying. It's sad, but I think so.
I think so too. It's like a slight decline
Yeah.
on the graph, stock graph.
I mean, there's only so many people who are interested in watching streamers, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the number grows every day, but the amount of people who are getting into streaming is like it's not very big growth, and most of it is being taken away by Twitch's competitors. So Twitch is, I think, it really is slowly dying.
do you think a part of that though is because um I know attention spans are like cooked, because
Um,
say you have like a 5 hour stream, right? I feel like
yeah,
the majority of viewers cannot sit through that entire thing, or if they are, they just have it in the background while they're doing homework or something
yeah.
like that.
I mean, I think that's the way that's always been though, right? Because I would much rather watch like a highlight reel on like YouTube of 30 minutes than rather than sitting through like an hour of streaming. Because honestly, even if you take a look at most top streamers, like some of the best streamers out there, right? a lot of it, like I want to say at least 30% of them is just looking at the computer. They're not talking, nothing going on, which I get, right? Streaming is a
Yes.
marathon, right?
Yeah.
You can't be yapping every single second of every single day. It's just simply impossible,
Hmm.
right? But the thing is, like, if I don't have a lot of time, I would much rather watch a stream highlights where I know something exciting is going to happen rather than take my chances with streaming. You know,
Yeah.
I value my time a lot. And so it's like, and I'm sure everybody does,
Yeah.
right? But it's just for me, watching a streamer where I don't know if anything exciting is going to happen, it's not worth it for me.
Yeah.
Unless you're my buddy, right? And so that's why you're the only streamer that I watch.
Right.
Yeah.
I've just thought that with 2 or 3 hour streams, it's not. I'll be honest. It's like there's a lot of downtime where it is
Yeah.
boring for maybe 70% of that stream, you know,
Hmm.
and then you have the 30% that's good, but then you can just post it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so why would people
Exactly.
waste their time with the whole 3 hours when they could watch a 10 minute or 20 minute YouTube highlight?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's just why the site isn't working, because viewership is down because attention spans are cooked, I wouldn't say.
True. And you brought up TikTok. I think that's why most streamers are streaming nowadays. It's just that way they can farm juicy clips to post
Yes.
onto TikTok. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why they're live is because it's constantly recording.
Hmm.
And so that way it's less weird than you just recording yourself and making jokes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you have like a live audience and you're streaming and then you make that clip, then it's a little less cringe, in my opinion. But I don't know.
Yeah. I would say it's a little less cringe, but I don't know. I think there is some appeal in having a live audience compared to a YouTube audience, but I'm not sure where I was going with that.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it depends on like if you think, because this is the only reason I would ever watch like a stream is if I know that something exciting might happen, and so that way I can say that I was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's just a difference between watching something really exciting and crazy live than there is on stream on like a YouTube highlight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's basically zero difference in like the entertainment value, I want to say, but like just being able to say that you're there makes such a difference for some reason. I wish I could tell you why. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you have like a speedrunner and they
Yeah.
set a world record or something, you have a bunch of people saying hi YouTube or I was here, I was there. Yeah.
Or I guess it's sort of like the difference between like a concert and just listening to it on the radio. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. I don't know. I don't know because like the concert is not perfect, but at least you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, you shelled out like
It-
$800.
It's a different
for seats,
experience
so
for sure.
yeah. Actually, no, I take it back. It definitely is a different experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Twitch dead. I want
yeah,
to say.
good luck,
I mean,
Twitch.
it's
07.
basically got cancer, so it'll die in like 20 years tops, maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe
8.
10, depending on whether Amazon wants to cut their losses early or if they want to keep investing over
Mm.
time. I feel like without Amazon backing them, it would have died earlier.
You know what? Twitch CEO Dan Clancy, if you're watching this podcast, trust me, I know you are. I'll be your next star on Twitch. Me and Nick will both be your next Twitch stars, and we
Yeah.
will save your shitty dying app. I didn't say shitty. We will both save your terrible app.
Oops. Yeah. Yes, we will. And I'll average at least 10 viewers and save
True.
the app.
Yeah. All I'm asking, Mr. Dan Clancy, is a small $3 million. I don't know.
Yeah, just a chance. Just
Yeah,
just a chance to
some-
get just
some
get your foot
pocket
in the
change
door.
for you.
Yeah, definitely for Jeff Bezos. So
Yeah.
anyway, I do think with the Prime subs, did they say anything about Prime subs? Or are they continuing that, or is it
They
going?
probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's just such a. I think Prime subs are honestly what's keeping Twitch subs even like viable. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
otherwise, I would not shill out $5. You know, if it's free though, I would.
But they don't make money from Prime subs. Like Twitch itself doesn't, right? Because
Yeah.
yes, you're paying for the Amazon subscription, but that
Yeah.
Amazon subscription is going to Amazon instead of Twitch. So
Exactly.
Twitch doesn't
So-
make money from Prime subs.
Well, I think the other thing is like they're too greedy about ads, but it's also at the end of the day a live streaming platform, so it's just not very easy to monetize it. Like I've been knocking on Twitch this entire time, but honestly, if I was in their shoes, I don't know how I would make it profitable either. All I
Yeah.
know is that they've been making the wrong choices, and I'm perfect. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Difficult for them.
I agree with that, and I think it's hard because you can't skip ads unless you sub, and I know that's
Yeah.
like the incentive to subscribe, but
Yeah.
it's not that big of an incentive.
It's not that big
unless,
of an incentive.
unless you're missing like a huge moment,
Yeah.
like in say like you're fighting an Elden Ring boss or something, and you're missing a
Yeah.
huge moment, then yeah, I would be annoyed. But also, what kind of streamer? I don't know. I feel like most streamers wouldn't run subs during the big moments, and it's more often during
Yeah.
downtime where the people aren't watching during downtime anyway. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah, subbing is only really worth it if you spend a lot of time on Twitch. Does that make sense?
That's
But for
true.
like your average casual like consumer, it is not worth,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Especially you have to spend a lot of time with that streamer specifically.
Yeah. In order for it to just be worth it for that one streamer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so yeah, I do think that Twitch, if they just went 95.5, they would actually probably see more profits. You know what I mean? But maybe. I don't know. For like donations, if they had built-in donations, maybe. But
Yeah.
it's too late for them. It's too late for them because PayPal exists and that's what most people donate through.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
I don't think they would ever change the 50-50. Maybe I'm wrong.
no.
Maybe this year they will finally budge because it's been 10 years of 50-50.
Yeah.
And
And a lot of people say that they like the new CEO. Well, I've heard mixed opinions on him, but I do think no matter what, it's a lot better than Emmett Shear was because Emmett Shear just it didn't he did not feel like the face of Twitch.
yeah.
At least with Dan Clancy, I remember his name and I remember his face and I
Yeah.
know for
I
a fact that
actually
he's
know what he
associated with
looks
Twitch.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. And like he has claimed some accountability and he does make statements and I know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Which no offense to Emmett. Emmett, I know you're watching. You seem like a cool guy, but you're not it for the CEO
Not a
of
good
Twitch.
CEO for Twitch.
Yeah. Anyways. But I think that's about it on Twitch. Did you have anything else to add? I'm done.
I think we've kind of exhausted that topic. I don't have
Okay.
anything else we can cover with that, but
Okay.
it is kind of sad to see where the place it's at now after 10 years or 15
years.
years. Yeah.
End of an era.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. But do you have any questions that you want to ask me, Nick?
Um,
I mean, we went drinking this last weekend.
We did
for
go
the viewers,
drinking.
and
and I am
I
just
got
curious
I got
how.
sloshed.
Oh, he was a gonzo's. How would you describe yourself as a drunk? I feel like this is kind of a lighthearted, funny topic that we can end stream on.
You see, I think you would be better suited to answer that question for me because I can't really remember it all that well.
Okay. You
How do you think I was when I was drunk?
I don't know. You kind of in the nicest way possible. You kind of were like yapping. But
Yapping?
like when I'm drunk,
That's what
or
I do.
when I'm tipsy, I yap a lot too. So
Yeah.
I remember you were like walking to the bathroom and you were like, guys, like you screamed this. You're like, guys, I feel like an NPC right now. And like you started walking like wide,
Yeah.
like all wide and like, you know,
I really did feel like an NPC.
typical like NPC walk, you know, like
Yeah.
you can visualize it for yourself, but you like broad shoulders and like walking all like silly. So
Yeah.
and then yeah, you just like you're funny. You're funny when you're drunk, I'll say that.
Okay,
It's better
that's
than
good.
being mopey. I feel like some people I know do kind of get mopey when they're drunk, which is like fine. It's just when I drink, I get all like giddy and giggly, so I want to have a fun time instead of like a sad time.
That's true.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I'm glad I was funny. I'm glad I was funny. All right. I'll say that. Because otherwise, if I was just yapping for the sake of yapping, then I don't think that would have been fun for anybody. But you know how it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Um.
Yeah, you did spill a lot about like your crushes and stuff like that, which I won't say her name, but yeah, you were. Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah. I like woke up that morning and I was sitting there and I was like, oh my god, what did I do last night? My goodness me.
Yeah.
And then Colin was like, or one of our buddies was just filling me in on the details, and I was like, oh, did I really say that? And he was like, yep. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Actually, it was not awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I vaguely understood, or I like vaguely remembered it, but I was also sitting there like now, and I'm like, why did I say that? But I mean, that's the way that goes when you're drunk, I guess.
Yeah. Was that your first time drinking?
I've never been so I've drank before.
Okay.
Like I've had like sips. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I went to a party like last summer, right? I was still underage, by the way, and so I sure hope I don't get arrested by the FBI. But anyways, yeah. So, but like everyone was drunk, but I drink almost as much as them, and I was like, wait, so I guess that means I have a really high alcohol tolerance because I'm just that guy, right?
Right.
And I drank last weekend, and I was like, okay, never mind. I guess my alcohol tolerance is literally non-existent. Non-existent. Like everybody outdrank me, and I was sitting there, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm just weak.
Sloshed. Yeah.
I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we got to do like a Super Smash Bros. Drinking stream or something, you know?
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. I would do something like that, or we play Mario Party again. That was fun. So
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Mario Party
Okay.
slaps, you know, slaps when you're a little tipsy.
A little tipsy.
Yeah.
We played the soccer game. I was really bad at it, but Mario Party volleyball, I was actually insane.
Yeah.
Although admittedly, it was just pressing like one or two buttons,
Yeah. There's like 3 buttons and a joystick
Yeah,
that you need.
yeah, and you're just waiting the other half of the time for the other team to make a move. So,
Yeah.
you know,
It gets chaotic though. It gets
yeah,
fun.
for sure. I had fun,
Yeah. Yeah, me too. So
but I probably will try and avoid drinking that much in the future because I actually just turned so stupid and crazy. Or not crazy, it's just stupid. You know?
no, you just were funny. Like you
Yeah,
just like weren't fully aware of what you were doing, I want
yeah,
to say.
yeah, yeah.
Like when
No, I
you're
really did feel like an NPC. I was just like, I'm gonna get up and walk now, and then I was like, I had to manually walk.
yeah.
This makes sense. Like,
Yes.
like
An NPC type walk.
exactly.
That's fun. I look forward to doing a drinking stream. So
Yeah.
let me know if you are up for that. We can get a group or a few
I'd be
friends
down.
and
I'd be
play
down.
some games.
I
You
might
know.
have to drink with you fellas in person though. You know what I mean? I can't drink at home.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So well, we'll see what happens then.
It's up to you. It's up to you. It's your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll figure it out. We can
Yeah.
come up with something. I'm sure. We're smart kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for when I'm drunk. But no,
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out. What happens
Anyways.
happens.
Well, so you're wait, let me redirect that question back to you. You said that you're giddy, laughy, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yes.
You're also very touchy, by the way.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
I found out the last
I
time
am a
that you've been
hugger.
drinking.
I'm a
You are a
hugger.
hugger.
That's true. I remember. Was it you saying you've never been hugged so many times?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like in the year of 2023, I gotten hugged like 3 times, and Nick hugged me like 4 times in one night in Sayonara, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yep.
cool.
I hugged everyone though. Like
Yeah.
that was my first time being drunk, and I was just like,
Oh, was it really?
well, yeah, it was like my first time being
Like drunk?
adequately tipsy. I don't think I was
Okay.
drunk. I don't think so
Okay.
because I can still remember a lot of that night, but adequately tipsy. So yeah, I was hugging everyone in the group. So yeah, I am a hugger.
Okay. Nice. I'm surprised. I thought you had been drinking a lot more,
No,
but that was your first time.
I actually, yeah, I don't drink a lot. So let's see. So last year, that was the first time I went to the bar with you guys in that group. So, but I've had drinks before, but that was the first time I've had like multiple vodka shots or tequila shots or whatever we were doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyways, kids, don't drink because it makes you stupid, but also do drink because it's kind of fun.
drink
I don't know.
at appropriate times.
Drink responsibly.
Responsibly is too.
Yeah.
Yes, responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Ty. This is episode 6 of the Bubble Boys podcast.
I'm Nicholas Wattups, and it's
Yeah.
as always, it's been fun, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
See ya.
Bye bye.